Imagine a sound you can't escape. A low, persistent hum that follows you around your home, stronger at night, keeping you awake. You try to find the source. Is it a neighbor's generator? A distant factory? But when you step outside, it vanishes. Or worse, you point it out to a friend standing right next to you, and they hear nothing at all. This isn't science fiction. This is the reality for a small group of people in a town called Taos, New Mexico, and it's one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries of our time. Welcome to the story of the Taos Hum. It all began in the early 1990s. Taos, a serene, artistic community nestled in the high desert of New Mexico, became the epicenter of a strange acoustic phenomenon. Residents started reporting a mysterious noise. They described it as a low-frequency rumble, like a diesel engine idling in the distance, or the faint sound of far-off thunder. But this thunder never stopped. For those who could hear it, the sound was relentless, an unwelcome guest in their quiet lives. The strangest part? Only about 2% of the population could hear it. This small group of people, who came to be known as hearers, were deeply affected, while the other 98% of the town lived in blissful silence, completely unaware of the sonic disturbance. Imagine the frustration. You're trying to sleep, and this constant, vibrating hum is drilling into your head. You complain to your partner, your family, your neighbors, and they look at you like you're crazy. They can't hear a thing. This social isolation made the experience even more distressing. People felt like they were losing their minds. The hum wasn't just a sound. For many, it was a physical sensation. They reported feeling vibrations in their bodies, a pressure in their ears, and a general sense of unease. The effects were debilitating. Chronic headaches, dizziness, sleepless nights, and severe anxiety. Some residents were driven to such desperation that they packed up their lives and moved away, just to find peace and quiet. As reports mounted, the local government and media couldn't ignore it any longer. The Taos Hum became a national story. In 1994, a formal investigation was launched. A team of respected scientists from Los Alamos National Laboratory and the University of New Mexico descended on Taos. They brought with them an arsenal of sophisticated equipment, highly sensitive microphones, seismic detectors, and sound monitoring tools designed to pick up even the faintest acoustic signals. They were determined to get to the bottom of it. The researchers set up their equipment in the homes of the hearers, hoping to capture the elusive sound and pinpoint its origin. After weeks of meticulous data collection and analysis, they released their findings. The conclusion was inconclusive. The scientists confirmed that they did detect some unusual low-frequency magnetic and acoustic vibrations in the area. However, none of the signals they recorded could be definitively identified as the hum described by the residents. There was no single external sound source they could point to. They checked for industrial noise, power lines, military activity, everything they could think of, but nothing matched. The investigation, which was meant to provide answers, only deepened the mystery. The hum was real enough to be experienced, but too ghostly to be measured. With science unable to provide a clear answer, theories began to swirl. Let's break down the most popular ones. The first and most obvious explanation is industrial sources. Proponents of this theory suggest the hum comes from something man-made, like large-scale compressors, high-pressure gas lines, or distant factories whose sound waves travel for miles under specific atmospheric conditions. The problem with this theory is the lack of a source. Investigators have scoured the region for years and have never found a single piece of machinery that could be responsible. Plus, why would it only be audible in specific, localized areas? Next, we have geological activity. Some scientists propose that the hum could be caused by microseismic movements, tiny, undetectable earthquakes happening deep within the Earth's crust. The friction of rock plates grinding against each other could generate low-frequency sounds that travel up to the surface. This could explain why the sound seems to emanate from the ground, and why it is felt as a vibration. However, it doesn't explain why only a select few people can perceive it. If the Earth itself is humming, shouldn't more people, or at least sensitive seismic equipment, be able to detect it consistently? Then there's the human element. One theory suggests that the hearers have an unusually acute sensitivity to low-frequency sound, beyond the normal range of human hearing. It's like having auditory superpowers, but instead of hearing whispers from a mile away, you're cursed to hear the planet's background noise. This could explain why others can't hear it, but it doesn't explain why the sound is location-specific. Hearers report that when they leave Taos, the hum disappears. If the issue was purely with their hearing, shouldn't they perceive similar sounds elsewhere? This leads to the most controversial theory, tinnitus. Spontaneous otoacoustic emissions are real phenomena where the inner ear itself creates a sound. Doctors often suggest that the hum is a form of tinnitus, a ringing or buzzing in the ears that has no external source. Many hearers vehemently reject this diagnosis. They argue that tinnitus is a sound inside your head, one that you carry with you everywhere. The Taos hum, they insist, is an external sound. They can sometimes change its perceived volume by turning their head, and most importantly, it vanishes completely when they travel away from the affected area. This location-dependent nature is the biggest argument against the tinnitus theory. So we're left with a puzzle. If it's machinery, why can't we find it? If it's a natural geological phenomenon, why does it affect people so selectively? And if it's a medical condition inside our ears, why does it stop the moment you drive out of town? Each theory explains one piece of the puzzle, but fails to account for all the facts. And here's where the story gets even bigger. Taos isn't alone. After the story gained international attention, reports of similar mysterious hums started popping up all over the world. There's the Bristol hum in England, the Windsor hum in Canada, which was so disruptive it sparked a multi-year international investigation. There's the Auckland hum in New Zealand, and a well-documented case in Kokomo, Indiana. Each location has its own unique story, its own set of hearers, and its own failed investigations. The phenomenon is global. This global pattern makes the mystery even more compelling. Are these all isolated incidents with local causes, or are they connected by some unknown worldwide phenomenon? Are we being exposed to a new kind of environmental pollution that only a few sensitive individuals can perceive, or is something stranger at play? Decades have passed since the first reports in Taos, and the hum remains as mysterious as ever. For the people who hear it, it's a constant, life-altering presence. It is a reminder that there are things in our world that we don't fully understand, phenomena that exist just on the edge of our perception. The Taos hum is more than just a strange noise. It's a question mark that hangs in the air, a mystery that challenges our understanding of sound, perception, and the very environment we live in. What do you think is causing it? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy diving into unsolved mysteries like this one, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. See you next time.